Hello everyone, a very warm good afternoon to one and all present over here. I am back again with the wonderful session of IELTS practice test where I'm going to deal with all the questions of Cambridge series so that I'll tell you how you're going to be solving your IELTS examination papers. So yes, let's get started without wasting any further time. So today again I'm back, as in our previous sessions I've already dealt with the listening module. If you have paid close attention to my session and if you have also watched my sessions, you might have noticed that I've solved all the entire 40 questions of listening task, and with all these strategies that I need to tell you. Also today I'll be dealing with reading section and I'll be solving the reading papers exactly from the Cambridge series, which is Cambridge 10 test 3 of Cambridge 10 test 1 and passage 3 of reading lecture, right? So yes, here we go, and please let me know, all of you who all are here, please let me know, please mark your attendance so that I get to know that you guys are here. Okay, now let's understand what are the topics we'll be covering. Ma'am, please TOEFL reading and writing live questions solve series start kar do, only IELTS ka mat karo. Okay, Sujit, definitely I'll take this into consideration and we're going to start up with that very soon. Very good afternoon, Sharda. Hope you guys are doing great. Come on, be quick. Let's get started. Come on. Now, so without wasting any further time, let's start with the topics that I'll be covering today. Okay. Now, here are the topics. First of all, I'm going to start off with the reading, table completion format to solve, practice and answers. So now you might have got it. Present, Sayesh, good, amazing. You've marked your attendance, that's great. Okay, so today I'm going to deal with table completion format. So basically I'm trying to tell you the different question type, I'm trying to figure out the questions, I'm trying to figure out the passages which is dealing with the different question types so that you get to know how you're going to be solving the entire question and how to deal with that particular question. Okay. Now, ma'am, we hope you will be good. Yes, I am doing great. I'm doing fine. Thank you so much for asking. Okay, so now let's get started without wasting any further time. So over here, I would just like to, make you aware of the fact that table completion format, how you are going to solve that, what are the things that you need to take in consideration before solving it. Okay, so first of all, make sure as usual that I usually say, read the question. This is going to be one of the first and foremost point. Okay, so what it is, read the question. Okay, when I say read the question, basically you are going to get a question like this. Okay, this is going to be the format of question. Here you are going to get a table and here you are going to get a table with instructions so that you are going to solve it. Okay, now there are certain pointers that you need to take care how you are going to solve up this question type. So for this, read the question and also what you need to do, read the question and read the instructions. What do you need to do? Read the instructions. Again, I know that you guys are very sharp. You guys are very, intelligent. But still, you should read the instructions because you never know what might turn up, something which you are not expecting. Okay, maybe in terms of word limit, maybe in terms of application, maybe in terms of answering a particular response, right? So make sure whenever you are solving this kind of a question, or you can say any reading question, be it reading, listening, writing, any of the module, you should read the instructions, because many a times what happens, for example, let me just give you an example. When you are dealing with matching heading question, if you remember that in reading we have the matching heading question, right? So what happens, like we have a list of headings and then we have the question, or you can say the statements, or we need to just paragraphs. We have the paragraphs. And you need to match particular paragraph with particular list of heading. Okay, this is what usually happens. Okay, so many a times what happens, one single heading can be can be the heading of multiple paragraph. Okay, now how you are going to know it? You are only going to be aware of the fact when you are going to when you are going to read the instructions properly. If you are not going to read the instructions properly, definitely you will not be able to understand that whether certain paragraphs needs the same heading or only one heading will be allocated to a single paragraph, right? So these are the scenarios that are very rare, yet they are possible. So the fact that you need to take in consideration is they are possible. So it's very important for you, so that you can read the instructions properly and you get to know what you are dealing with. Okay, at the same time, there are numerous instructions. For example, let me just give you a clear example so that you get to know. For example, if I talk about in terms of word limit, okay, now, so if we have a word limit, for example, we have majorly no more than one word, right? No more than one word. Okay, so one, we have this kind of a instruction. Sorry, second, we have no more than one word and or a number. Okay, and now this is something, it can be one word, it can be two words, it can be three words at max. Okay, at max, majorly you are going to encounter the instructions that are asking you to come up with one word, two words, maybe three words at max. Okay, so yes, this is what happens, and eventually it can be no more than one word and or a number, no more than two words and or a number. Also, it can be, I'm just giving you all the scenarios so that you be aware of all of them. Okay, no more than and numbers. Now, if you're going to have a quick look, here I have written numbers. Yes, it can, your answer might include multiple numbers as well. So, whenever you are dealing with a question, I have told you multiple times, questions पढ़ लेना, instructions पढ़ लेना, because there are going to be time, अगर आप नहीं पढ़ोगे, you have to respond accordingly. ठीक है? अब जरूरी नहीं है कि if it is written one word, your answers are going to be one word only. No, your answers might include, very good afternoon, Anurag. Welcome to this session. Okay, so I was telling you कि जब भी आप क्वेश्चन के साथ डील करते हो, if it's written one word, then जरूरी नहीं है कि आपका आंसर सिर्फ one word में ही आएगा. Your answer might include two words, your answer might include three words. Now it's totally your decision कि आप which word you are giving more weightage and which word you are choosing to be your answer, right? ऑल्सो इसके साथ साथ इट्स रियली वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. नाउ ये तो हो गया, ठीक है, इंस्ट्रक्शंस. व्हाई डू वी डू दैट? ओके, नाउ अब ये जो आपके पास जो पैरामीटर्स आए हैं, ये जो लिमिटेशंस और ये जो इंस्ट्रक्शंस आए हैं आपके पास, यू नीड टू मेक श्योर वन मोर थिंग, दैट योर आंसर हैज टू बी grammatically correct, right? So if you're filling up any response, listen to me carefully. सिर्फ आंसर लिखना is not a big thing, right? You need to make sure that that answer is actually catering to the question. How you're going to decide it? Whenever you are going to fill in that particular word in the fill in the blanks, maybe you're doing the sentence completion, or you're doing fill in the blanks, or you're doing table completion, whatever question you are dealing with, it's really very important for you to take in consideration कि जब भी आप answer लिखो, that answer has to be correctly filled, that answer has to be grammatically accurate with respect to the question or the statement that's there in the question. Got it? So these are certain things that you need to be very sure at the time of mentioning, at the time of marking your responses. ठीक है? तो अगर आपको ये पता करना है whether your answer is correct or not, make sure you look upon to the word. क्या वो word grammatically fit हो रहा है आपके statement में या नहीं? If it is not fitting, then it means you are marking up your wrong responses. But अगर वो fit हो रहा है, it means your response is correct. So you need to take up the decision wisely. So this is also something that you need to be, you need to be very careful of at the time of writing your responses. ठीक है, ये तो हो गया. Read the question, read the instruction, word limit समझ में आ गई, and answer has to be correct. अच्छा, बिफोर कमिंग अप विद द रिस्पॉन्स, देखो आई हैव ऑलरेडी टोल्ड यू, बिकॉज हमारे रीडिंग पैसेजेस बहुत ज्यादा बड़े होते हैं. वी हैव लिटिल लॉन्ग रीडिंग पैसेजेस, राइट? सो लाइक वन रीडिंग पैसेज माइट इंक्लूड अराउंड 10 to 11 or maybe at times 12 to 13 paragraphs, right? Which becomes a lot of, it is like very time taking. And also you have been allocated with like 20 minutes. It's not like you have been allocated, it's like you have a choice that you can spend almost 20 minutes to that particular one single passage, and you have 3 passages to deal with. For that, it's really very important for you to mark the keywords. Mark the important keywords. What will happen? As I have already solved a lot of questions like in previous sessions, अगर आपने ध्यान दिया होगा, what I usually do is I usually mark the question, I usually mark the words or the keywords in the question, so that when I'm reading the passage, मुझे problem face ना करना पड़े. When you are not marking the keywords, when you don't actually mark them, होता क्या है कि you just get back to the passage and you get to the question, and in this way you read the passage multiple times, which is going to be of no use. अगर वो question directly deal करने के लिए बोल रहा है, it means अगर आपको वो words directly passage में से उठाने हैं और उसको fill in the blanks में रखना है, then definitely it's of no use. You are going to read the passage multiple times. Okay, first of all you need to allocate the paragraph, जिस paragraph में आपके responses है, right? Okay, so what you need to do, you need to locate the paragraph as well. It's also a task. Okay, for that, ma'am, you got grade of 500 views on 13 days old live class. Congratulations. Thank you so much, Sayash. It's only possible because of you guys. Many more to go, definitely, and I'm expecting a lot more than this. Okay, so thank you so much for your congratulations, and thank you so much for wishing. Okay. Now, so I was telling you, mark the important keywords, right? ये हो गया. Locate the paragraph. This is definitely going to be a first thing that you need to do at the time of solving the responses. ये हो गया, समझ आ गया? Everyone, please let me know if you guys are able to understand. ठीक है? बाकी कोई भी question, if you have any question, anything, please let me know. Ma'am, sometimes using keywords to identify the sentence becomes hectic when it's using a high synonym in the sentence. Okay. First of all, what usually you need to do is, first of all, let's suppose you're not able to understand कि वो word क्या लिखा है. ठीक है? कोई word आया. मेजरली जो डिफिकल्ट वर्ड्स होते हैं वो देखो किससे डील करते हैं. वो या तो कोई स्पीशीज होते हैं, या तो दे आर वेरी टेक्निकल टर्म्स जो कि साइंटिफिकली यूज होता है, टेक्नोलॉजिकली यूज होता है. ठीक है? या any term which is used in a particular academic subject. For example, geography से कोई word हो गया, history से कोई word हो गया, science या technology से कोई word हो गया. Majorly उस type के words आते हैं जो कि difficult होते हैं to pronounce as well as to understand the meaning. ठीक है? उन words से आपको cater नहीं करना है, because those words are there, those words are used for a specific meaning. तो अगर if the the person who needs to ask you about that particular word, अगर उसे उस पे question भी बनाना होगा, तो they are going to use the exact word. ठीक है? पहले तो ये समझ लो. दूसरी चीज, let's suppose there is a certain vocabulary with a synonym, with a high level of synonym, you are not able to understand. So what usually you can do is, definitely you cannot refer to anything for the meaning, but you can refer to the sentence that has that particular word. For example, वो word कहीं पे है, तो read the entire paragraph, read the entire sentence with related to that that word. So जब भी आप word को read करोगे, you gonna get some idea of that particular word, at least an idea कि whether that word is said in a positive sense or that word has been said in a negative sense. इतना तो idea लग जाएगा, right? That idea is enough for you to get the inference of the entire paragraph or get the inference of the entire thing that's written over there. Okay? Because in the 11th hour, definitely you cannot do anything, you cannot refer to anything that you will be able to understand the meaning of. The only thing that you can do is use your language skill and use your word power in order to understand. If you're not able to understand that particular word, go through with the sentence, go through the paragraph, go through the passage and think what can be the probable meaning of this particular word. Acha, this you are only going to do when that word has to do something as an answer. अगर उस वर्ड का आपके आंसर से कोई रिलेशन नहीं है, then simply leave it. Don't end up wasting your precious time over that in that particular word. If you think that that word is important for you in order to come up with a response, then definitely go ahead with that. But अगर आपके हिसाब से वो important नहीं है, if it doesn't has to do anything with the response, then please just leave it and go ahead. Got it? Please let me know अगर समझ आ गया है. If not, I'm going to explain it to you again. I don't have any issue. ठीक है? Now, so mark the important keyword, locate the paragraph, right? Locate कर लिया paragraph. Then you're going to start solving your responses. Also, there are certain things that I would like to make you sure that make sure check the spelling. Got it? Spelling is very, 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 very important. Yes, ma'am, I understood. Thank you. Okay, that's great. Amazing if you have understood. Please let me know if you have any other such questions. Okay? Okay, done? Now, let's practice and let's solve it and let's see how we are going to solve while using these strategies. Okay? Now, here is the passage. Okay? And here you have the question. Okay? I have kept it so that, you guys don't have to actually face problem. Now, let's have a quick look. First of all, let's understand. Let's read it properly. You should spend about 20 minutes. Always remember, it's written, you should spend about 20 minutes. अगर किसी को भी ऐसा लग रहा है कि their passages are going to be stuck for 20 minutes, be it PBT, be it CBT, whatever modes you guys are taking up with, so ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. You gonna get only 1 hour. In that 1 hour, अगर आप इसको 30 minutes भी allocate करना चाहते हो, you can allocate it. It's totally your take. It's just a recommendation. It's a sheer recommendation to you that you can spend or you should spend 20 minutes depending upon the word limit, depending upon the kind of passage. Okay? Now, there is not any such kind of like difficult passage or easy passage for you. All the passages are having the same level of English. All the passages are catering to the same level. It's just that it depends on your reading ability, your reading skill, how good you are at reading. The same passage can be difficult for you. The same passage can be easy for you, like, depending upon your reading skill. So just work on your reading skill, just work on your reading ability so that you can solve it properly. Okay? Chalo. Now, let's understand how we are going to solve it out. On question 27 to 40, which are based on reading passage 3 below, reducing the effect of climate change. So what I got to know is this passage is going to talk about reducing the effect of climate change. First of all, Mark Rowe reports on the increasingly ambitious geoengineering projects being explored by the scientists. So this is going to be our theme and this is going to be our main topic on which we are going to talk about. Okay. Now let's have a quick look. First over here again. Now first of all we need to read the questions. So question 30 to 36. Okay, we need to answer 7 questions. Complete the table below. Choose one word from the passage for each answer. Now what's written? It's written choose one word from the passage. It means these 2 words are telling me that I need to take the exact word from the passage. Right? Also, I need to take only one word. No numbers, no elaboration of the word, nothing. No synonym, no change in the grammatical form. Everything has to be exactly taken from the passage, right? One word. Write your answers in the boxes 30 to 36 on your answer sheet. You're going to get boxes and you have to write your responses over there. So here, okay, geoengineering project. So it means whatever we need to talk about, we need to talk about this exact project, okay? First. Second, let's have a quick look at the question, what it exactly dealing with, okay? First, here is the procedure and here is the aim. So it means that whatever we are going to do it over here, we need to make sure that we are achieving this aim to with respect to this project, right? Chalo, shuru karte hain. Put a large number of tiny spacecraft into orbit far above Earth. Okay, so this is going to be the procedure. Anywhere in the passage we are going to get it. Okay, to create we need to create a dash that would reduce. We need to create something that would reduce, that would reduce. Always make sure the words that are used, that the words that are intensifying, ठीक है? जो intensity की बात करते हैं, those words are also very important. You need to mark them, ठीक है? Now that would reduce the amount of light reaching Earth. Check. So what I got to know, okay, so this is going to be a lot of, this is going to take a lot of time for me to explain because I'm explaining as of now. You need to work really fast when you're solving it, okay? Now, the next one is place dash in the sea. We need to place something in the sea to encourage to form. If you're going to put something into the sea, there is something that's going to form, okay? Now, release aerosol sprays into the stratosphere. Now, I'm going to tell you one thing. The question that has been asked, ma'am, can you explain the scoring criteria for each section of IELTS test? Sure, I can tell you. I can definitely tell you. So let me just complete it. Let me just complete this and then I'll be guiding you with that. Okay. So the first question that I got कि ma'am अगर synonym आ जाता है तो how we are going to identify it? अब आप यहाँ पे देखोगे ना release aerosol. I myself am not aware of the fact what is aerosol. It can be something. It can be some scientific chemical that can be. ठीक है मुझे इतना पता है. So I don't know what is aerosol. I do know what is stratosphere, but I don't have the exact knowledge of stratosphere. ठीक है? Just because these two part are here in the question doesn't mean कि in order to understand the procedure मुझे इन दोनों words का मतलब exactly पता होना चाहिए. Why? Because these two are the scientific term. वो passage में exactly as it is mention होने वाला है. So once I'm going to read the passage, I'm going to get the idea कि what exactly they are talking about. ठीक है? तो it doesn't mean अगर कोई scientific term या कोई geographical term भी आ जाता है, you don't have to be worried about it. It's just that आपको उसको जितने का काम है उतना ही आपको जानने की जरूरत है. It means aerosol is some sort of chemical or stratosphere is a layer of like somewhere in the atmosphere or hydrosphere, whatever it is. So it is the layer and then कुछ तो होगा. We need to release this into the stratosphere to create something that would reduce the amount of light reaching Earth. That's all. If you've got to find the, अगर आपको ये आंसर मिल जाएगा, then that's all you need to know. ठीक है? Now next, fix strong to Greenland ice sheets, okay, to prevent icebergs moving into the sea. So we need to make sure that हमें Greenland ice मिले and sheets मिले, so that we also need to make sure that we are getting this aim or not in the passage. ठीक है? Plant trees in Russian Arctic that would lose their leaves in winter, okay, to allow the dash to reflect radiation, okay. Change. Now, okay, change. What's wrong with this? So change the direction of something to bring more cold water in ice forming area. Got it? So this is how you're going to read the question. First, you need to entirely read the question, be familiar with the question, what they are exactly dealing with, what they are exactly asking you, and then move ahead in solving the question. Now we are going to read the passage and now we are going to understand what are the answers that we need to put up over here. समझ आ गया? Got it, everyone? Let's change it. Okay, chalo. Ab let's start off with the passage. Such is our dependence on fossil fuel and such is the volume of carbon dioxide already released into the atmosphere that many experts agree that important global warming is now inevitable. They believe that the best we can do is keep it at a reasonable level, and at present, the only serious option for doing this is cutting back on our carbon emission. But while a few countries are making major strides in this regard, the majority are having great difficulty even stemming the rate of increase, let alone reversing it. Consequently, an increasing number of scientists are beginning to explore the alternative of geoengineering, a term. So what is geoengineering? Here we got it. A term which generally refers to the international large-scale manipulation of environment. Now we got to know what is geoengineering. Make sure in the passage you're going to get each and every information that you need to know. So don't get panicked, don't get worried. One more thing I would like to tell you. Whatever you know, let's suppose you know something about geoengineering project. Okay? If you know about it, keep it with you. You don't have to applicate it over here in the responses, right? Whatever you know, that's totally fine. Personal information को इस response पे नहीं show करना है. Whatever you need to come up with the response should be entirely based on the passage. Even if you know about the topic, you don't know about the topic, that's something which is not concerned. जो भी आपको information लेनी है, आप सबका सब passage से ही लेना. Don't put your assumptions into the way. Getting it? Now, अब आ जाओ इधर. According to its proponents, geoengineering is equivalent of the backup generator. If plan A, reducing our dependency on fossil fuels fails, we require a plan B, employing grand scheme to slow down or reverse the process of global warming. So in this passage or in this paragraph, you got to know about what is geoengineering, what exactly it is, and how many plans we are having, and why we are doing it, because of carbon emissions, and why it is really important for us to execute this project, because all sorts of reasons that is impacting the environment. This is all about the introduction of geoengineering projects. Okay, it's giving us an intro of geoengineering project. समझ आ गया? Now let's get back to the next para. Geoengineering has been shown to work at least on a small localized scale for decades. May Day parades in Moscow have taken place under clear blue sky. Okay. Our aircraft having deposited dry ice, silver iodide and cement powder to disperse cloud. Okay, now listen to me carefully. Okay. Aircraft having deposited dry ice. Okay, so what aircraft used to do? They have to deposit they have to deposit dry ice, silver iodide and cement powder to disperse cloud. Many of the schemes now suggested look to do the opposite. Reduce the amount of sunlight reaching the planet. Can you just relate it to somewhere over there? Okay, what we need to do? That would reduce the amount of light reaching the earth. This is what our aim and how we are going to achieve it. Now from here you're going to start getting your responses. The moment your keyword matches the paragraph, start reading it carefully, start reading it with full concentration, right? The most eye-catching idea of all is suggested by Professor Roger Angel of the University of Arizona. His scheme would employ up to 16 million, so 16 trillion minute spacecraft. Did we have any something? See, tiny spacecraft, right? The procedure. This is what we are talking about, the procedure, and that's eventually will lead us to the result, okay? Each weighing about 1 gram to form a transparent sunlight refracting sunshade in the orbit 1.5 million kilometers above the earth. This could, argue Angel, reduce the amount of light reaching the earth by 2%. What is going to reduce the amount? This is the aim. And what is leading to reduce the amount of sunlight? This is going to be your answer. To create. Okay, now again, make sure you take everything into consideration. Okay, if if you are asking me कि अगर मैम कीवर्ड मैच कर रहा है तो why can't we just read it, why can't we just write deposit dry ice, silver iodide and cement powder, any one of them, because eventually this is also talking about the completion of the aim, but हम वो आंसर नहीं लिख सकते because you need to read the question कि what exactly question is demanding. इन सबको यूज करके हमें कोई एक ऐसी चीज क्रिएट करना है that would reduce the amount of light reaching earth. What is being created? अब यहाँ पे आ जाओ. सनलाइट रिफ्रैक्टिंग सनशेड 1 ग्राम टू फॉर्म क्या, फॉर्म का मतलब क्या होता है, क्रिएट करना होता है. टू क्रिएट और टू फॉर्म अ ट्रांसपेरेंट व्हाट, सनलाइट रिफ्रैक्टिंग सनशेड. अगर आप क्लियरली देखो ना तो हमारा आंसर इतना बड़ा है, बट बिकॉज वी नीड टू राइट ओनली वन वर्ड, वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू राइट एनीथिंग लाइक ट्रांसपेरेंट, सनलाइट, रिफ्रैक्टिंग, बट वी आर ओनली गोइंग टू राइट व्हाट, सनशेड. तो यहाँ पे आंसर क्या हो जाएगा, सन शेड. गॉट इट? आई होप यू गाइज आर गेटिंग इट. ठीक है, अब आ जाओ इधर. Second one, okay. Now, the majority of geoengineering projects so far carried out, which includes planting forest in deserts and depositing iron, depositing what in the ocean? Depositing what? Place dash in the sea. Place dash or place dash in the sea, or depositing iron in the ocean. Iron in the ocean to encourage to form. Okay. To stimulate the growth of algae. Okay. So here is your response. To encourage to form algae. Okay. Now what's next? Having focused on achieving a general cooling of the earth, but some look specifically reversing the melting at the poles, particularly the Arctic. The reasoning is that if you replenish the ice sheets and frozen water of the high latitudes, more light will be reflected back into the space, so reducing warming of the ocean and atmosphere. Let's see what else we are going to talk about. Release aerosol sprays into the stratosphere. Right now, abhi we haven't got any such words. Ab hum dekhenge. The concept of releasing aerosol sprays into the stratosphere above the Arctic has been proposed by several scientists. This would involve using sulfur hydrogen sulfide aerosols so that sulfur dioxide would form cloud. What they form? To create clouds that would reduce the amount of light reaching the Earth, which would in turn lead to global dimming. The idea is modeled on the historic volcanic explosions such as the Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines in 1991, which led to the short-term cooling of global temperature by 0.5 degrees Celsius. Scientists have also scrutinized whether it's possible to preserve ice sheets of Greenland which reinforced high-tension cable. Which reinforced what? High-tension cable, preventing iceberg from moving into the sea. Let's have a quick look. Fix strong. What? You need to fix strong something which will result to prevent iceberg moving. What is preventing iceberg to move? The high-tension cables that are being installed right in the Greenland ice sheet. Okay. Now, meanwhile, in the Russian Arctic, geoengineering plans include the planting of millions of the birds trees, whereas the region native evergreen pines shade the snow and absorb radiation. Birds would shed their leaves in the winter. We had this kind of keyword somewhere. Planting trees in Russian Arctic that will lose their leaves in winter to allow what? Thus enabling radiation to be reflected by the snow, to allow the dash to reflect radiation. What is reflecting radiation? The snow is reflecting radiation. This is how you're going to solve it. What's next? Change the direction of. What we need to change the direction of? Okay. Now, rerouting Russian rivers to increase cold water flow to ice forming areas could also be used to slow down warming, and say some climate scientists. Rerouting Russian rivers. What is being rerouted? Change the direction. What is the meaning of change the direction? Change the direction means rerouting. Again, change the direction of rivers. We have Russian rivers, right? So definitely we cannot write Russian rivers because we need to write only one word. So this is the reason I'm writing rivers out here to be the answer, to bring more cold water into ice forming area. This is how you are going to solve it. It's going to seem very easy. Trust to me, it is very easy. So the answer is going to be snow and rivers, right? This is actually very easy. It's just that, and the moment you've done it, you're not going to read any further until unless you have follow-up questions with that. Okay, so the fact is, the moment you look, the keywords are there, the keywords are matching, straight away move to the question and see, is it exactly what it has been asked? And you know, it's really very important for you to understand. अगर आपने देखा होगा, there were many difficult words with related to the scientific term and geographical term. तो वो they have clearly explained what a certain word is, what is the work of certain word in a certain paragraph or in a certain project or in certain process, right? So this is how you're going to get each and every information in the passage. Trust me, if you're going to read it properly, you're going to find all the answers, you're going to find all the responses, right? So yes, here are the answers. If you can just have a quick look and if you want to refer to them, okay? Yes, that's all. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot for being here. And let me know if there's any question, any query in the chat box, and we're going to read it afterwards. And all the very best to all the students who are preparing for their IELTS examination. Bye-bye. Take care. See you in the next session. Bye.